On the agenda is discussion and acceptance of the meeting rules. And I see Ryan attached it on this last page.
Yes, I think that's what we ended on, yeah. I still have something to say about it.
Yep, we're
You
going
guys
to
want me to
discuss it.
start? Yeah, so I did,
Can we finish reading it first?
okay, before I start.
Yeah. Simple, straightforward. Who did you get this Jonathan Powell? He's a municipal service council?
He is the,
Okay, okay. Only I asked because Sarah has a whole different thing. And I meant to get it from her today,
okay,
saying that everything we suggested is legal. So anyways,
okay.
I just wondered who Jonathan Powell was.
He's one
I
of the
know
two.
Steve,
Yeah.
but I don't know Jonathan.
Well, anyway, that's his picture. I've never met him in real life. I've only met him via phone. But do you want me to tell you what I talked to him about? Or?
Are you ready? Everybody read it? Yeah? Yep. Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, so I spoke to him on 7/28, and basically he didn't like the same sentence I didn't like. Basically he said 50% of it violates the law, obscenities, and this is the NHMA New Meeting Association, NHMA New Public Employee Meeting is where I took the slide from. This is the one where the guy is like pointing like this.
Yeah.
And everything below the slide, which is within the box, are their notes that they talk to the class about. Anyway, if you look at whatever page 83, I guess it is. Sorry, the next page, I highlighted the things where they say that what restrictions are not acceptable, no swearing or obscenity is not acceptable as a restriction for public comments. They say you can encourage people to avoid swearing, but once you start telling people what they can say and not say, that's a First Amendment violation. So that is to back this up. So I don't know what Sarah has, but...
Well, I went and did some research as well.
Good.
So, in New Hampshire, while members of the public generally have the right to attend and speak at public meetings, there are limitations on the type of language they can use. While the state's right to know law ensures public access, it does not grant the right to disrupt a meeting.
Sure.
Or use offensive language, according to the town of Sunapee. Specifically, while swearing itself may not be a crime, according to the New Hampshire Law Office, it can be grounds for restriction of public comment if it becomes disruptive or threatening. So,
Can I just ask where you got that?
well, the first thing I did was I Googled, and then I went into the New Hampshire, I have it all on my phone, all the things regarding New Hampshire laws for people in the budget committee. So, and then I spoke to two separate police departments and said, look, what's the policy? And basically they gave very common sense, which is what I think we all agreed upon here. Basically, please don't use that language. Please don't continue to use that language, or we'll have to ask you to leave. 3, you're continuing to use the language. As a committee, we do not have to sit and be subjected to such abusive language. You either choose to leave, or we can call, in our case, it would be the state police, because there's nobody here at night. So, now, I I understand if somebody wants to get up and colloquial, it's their vernacular.
Sure.
That's not a problem. But if somebody, as I said to you at our last meeting, if somebody is going to verbally come after me, sitting individually on this board, I, as a human being, do not have to be subjected to it.
I agree.
And I will feel very threatened. That's my definition of a threat. And I was told that if all else failed, physically remove myself from the meeting, because it is a threat. So I understand, I'm not saying that the right, the public doesn't have the right, Ryan. I absolutely would support free speech. But as somebody who's volunteering to serve, I also have a right not to be subjected to abuse. And if somebody's personally going to attack me with that kind of language, I'll take it as a threat. That's me. That may not be you. You may not have a problem with that, but I do. So I do take this 1, 2, 3, and I think it's like anything. The third time, you're done. You've been asked not to use the language. Everybody slips, everybody can get hot-headed, everybody's entitled to that right, but if by the third time they're verbally assaulting me, I don't have to take that. I don't.
And I think there's a difference too. Like I said before, there's a difference between cussing at an issue
Sure,
and cussing at a person.
100%.
Right.
And
And I'm 100% behind Ginny. Nobody has the right to swear at me personally or to call me names. They don't. I don't care what anybody says. So, I mean, and my suggestion at this point, I mean, rather than voting on the policy tonight, I think it's important that we read your information
Okay.
and we have time to absorb it, and that we table going forward on the rules of the meeting. Because I think
That's fine.
I'd like to really, plus I want that information that Sarah has, I want it in writing, because I'm pretty sure she told me she got it from the local government center. And
From the
it's-
what?
Well, the municipal,
NHMA?
so, yeah, that used to be called the local government center.
Okay.
So, and I did ask her for that in writing, she said she had it, but then I forgot to get it today. Do you agree, Ed?
Yes.
Can,
First off, the guy that you spoke to, all right, I'm not wild about
okay,
it. No, well, no, the only reason
He's
is,
our lawyer. We pay him to be our lawyer. Okay.
no, we don't pay him to be our lawyer, he's
We
the,
do, NHMA.
Well, we
Yes.
take duties, we do.
Yes.
but,
And legal services come with those dues. So.
Stephen Buckley, I've had much better luck with Stephen Buckley. And I've gone to Stephen before and gotten answers, and I've taken that same question and gone, and Steve hasn't been there, and I talked to this other guy. He didn't even know what he was talking about. I asked him about SB2 voting, and he took and told me that the budget committee had no right to say anything about how we voted and how the money was appropriate. He said that was laid all in the selectmen's hands. That's not true.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue.
No, but
I don't know anything about.
no, but that's why with
I
him.
think the bottom line is too, and I've been doing this for many, many years, 36 years I've been involved in some capacity. I think too, in this, that different people you get on the phone give you different
Different
opinions.
Yeah.
Because I've never gotten an opinion from this guy, but I can tell you I've gotten an opinion from Steve in the past, and they aren't always right. Because then I'll call Matt, our lawyer, and Matt will say, no, you
Right,
can't do
yes.
that.
But I've
Or
had
yes, you
better
can.
luck with
So,
Stephen.
yeah.
So with the law in general, like, we can all have our own opinions, including the lawyers. The judge makes
Yeah.
the call.
Right.
Exactly.
But can I finish with this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so there's no swearing or obscenity, and then there's the parentheses. Although you can prohibit specific threats of harm and speech likely to incite violence or injury, such as yelling fire in a crowded room, I don't know what verbally attacking means, but like if you're being actual specifically threatened, then that doesn't include obscenities, so that's a,
So
There are
if
distinctions there.
if some, first of all, I don't understand. Has this been, because you two would know.
No, it's not been an issue ever.
Thank you.
Not in all my years.
No.
It's never been an issue.
what's not been an issue at all?
That,
Name calling, swearing.
right,
Ever, at a budget committee meeting,
right.
ever.
I mean,
I did one time when I
So
was
then-
town moderator, Stewie. What was
Right.
Stewie's last name? I don't even remember.
Downs.
Downs. He cussed and I had him removed.
Right.
No, I told
You
him
told
he
him.
would be removed
Right.
if he did it again. But,
So, hold on a second. If it's not an issue, why are we putting this in the public comment?
because you wanted it.
I did not want that at all.
You wanted a public comment and you want,
Okay,
you,
hold on.
not a public comment, but you wanted the rules.
Right.
You wanted the rules.
Okay,
We never,
I didn't want these rules. I just want to make sure we all, I do not want these rules, right? Do we all agree with that?
No, I don't agree with
No,
that.
I
You're the
don't.
one that brought it up and wanted
These
it.
rules, no, I
You
could-
wanted, not necessarily these
Okay,
rules.
yes, I did
You
not want
asked
those
for
rules.
rules. We didn't ask for rules.
I think the whole board said that we should have rules.
No, we did, I didn't. I agreed to it after you brought it up.
Right.
And you wanted it. I agreed that I would be happy
Okay,
to do that.
I'll ask again, because I think I asked this last time. Does the budget committee think we should have public comment policy or not? And I thought we said yes, but let me check the meeting minutes here. Okay,
Again, I think we
Ryan?
agreed to it because you asked for
okay,
it.
pretty much.
okay, then, I'm not trying to railroad anything through. If you guys don't wanna have a public comment policy, that's fine. I'd rather have no policy than an illegal policy, so.
Well,
That's where
I don't
I'm at.
think we're saying we don't want an, that we want an illegal policy, we're not saying that.
I don't think you are saying that.
Well, I just think, you know, maybe I'm naive, but I have faith and confidence in the people who come and sit here who ask a question, even if they get hot-headed, which everybody has that point, that if you just say, just not the language, people will go, oh, and check themselves.
Right.
And, you know, and stuff like that. And I think just practical common sense of doing that. And if you have to say it again twice, then you're kind of saying to yourself, okay, this person's not in a good place.
Right.
And then just do the silent wait them out until they get whatever anger they have to get out, you know?
I think where I'm coming from is that we've never felt the need to have
Right.
public comment policies. I
Right.
mean, we've never faced, I mean, if we do, then I think going forward, then we need to do something. But again, Ryan, I never wanted these, but I was happy to do it if it made everybody comfortable. But again, like I said the first night, I don't think we need anything really elaborate. That's why I didn't even agree with like the selectmen's jargon.
I agree, we don't need anything elaborate.
Well, if prior to right now, there was no public comment policy in place,
There never was.
there never was, why don't we go forward from that point, and if an issue comes up,
Didn't address it.
then we'll address it. But I really believe that if you just look at somebody, if they're having a bad night and they lose it, you take it where it's coming from, you know? If somebody comes to the meetings with the intention of doing it, that's a different story, but I don't see that as being, you know, the case.
So hold on, I wasn't 100% clear on what you said. Take it as it comes, does that mean we will just have no public?
If we don't have a public, like if somebody wants to get up and address us, then
Yes.
that's what they should be allowed to do.
Okay, I like that.
And, you know, but if somebody gets up and wants to address us for an hour,
Sure.
I would probably sit there and say, I have to go. I just don't think we need to, until, if it becomes an issue, if we get 5 people in here who their main objective is to be disruptive, then we'll have to do something. And at that time, we can come in maybe a little bit more.
So here's the disruptive aspect is, if we allow them to talk, then, like the Cowell said, Jonathan Cowell said, if you give them the opportunity to speak, you can't really claim disruption or disturbing or anything because you've allowed them to speak. So are you saying if someone wants to come in and 5 people want to speak and we grant them that, and then we don't like it, then we shut them down?
No, you
I
don't-
never would do such a thing. I
No.
would never allow that.
No, and
Yeah,
neither
So what's
would
disruptive
I.
mean is what I'm asking.
Okay, disruptive is somebody coming into a meeting and saying, Ginny, you're a beepity beep.
Okay.
That's
Public?
disruptive. In public comment directing to me, that's a threat. That's a threat. You're a man, I'm a woman, I perceive that as a threat.
If someone says you're being a
No.
lead,
If someone called me that and
A-
said if I was a bleepin' bleep, okay, now your idea of what bleepin' bleep acceptable is way different than mine.
perhaps, yeah.
But I can perceive that. That's my choice to perceive that as a threat.
Well, there's a legal
If-
definition of the phrase.
No. If I feel threatened, Ryan, as a woman, if I feel threatened as a woman, I have the right to say, I'm feeling a little threatened.
I think that's valid.
Right. So, but I don't perceive like 5 people coming in the door with this. I mean,
Okay, so can I just interrupt for a second,
Go
because
ahead.
I want to go all the way back to me. The reason I said that, first of all, NHMA said that we should have a public comment policy if we're going to have it, because if you don't apply it consistently and fairly, it opens the town up for a lawsuit. That's my whole thing. People can say discrimination. If Jake walks in, I'm picking on you because you're here, Jake walks in and you guys don't want to hear him, and you just shut him up, that could be a discrimination lawsuit. If the next person comes in who we like, Sam, let's say, and he's here as a public, and we let him talk, that's gonna be bad for the town. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. If you guys don't wanna have a public comment policy.
Ryan, as chairman, I can tell you that if Jake wanted to speak, I would give him the opportunity.
Right.
I don't care who it is.
Right.
I do not care who it
We
is.
need to then
Whether
allow,
I agree with them or not, they have the right to ask questions, to
And we
speak.
have the right to hear what they have to say.
Right.
Absolutely.
I
don't
don't
think it's an
have a
issue.
problem. But if Jake were to call me a name and I'd say, whoa, and Jake then followed it up and called me a name again, I'd say, first of all, no more banana bread for you, Jake. Second of all, I feel threatened. And that's me. As a woman, I would feel threatened.
Okay.
So that's where I'm coming from. The first thing, I wouldn't come at Jake and say, Jake, you're threatening me. But if Jake did it to me and I gave him the sign of, geez, I'll cut you off from banana bread for the future on you, or pumpkin bread, then I just don't see the budget committee as being,
okay, I think I understand.
do you?
I
Really?
disagree. I
Okay, that's
understand.
fine. You can disagree with me,
Yeah.
and I don't have a problem with you disagreeing with me and me disagreeing with
I
you.
don't have a problem with
But the definition that I have as a woman, I could feel threatened by something you don't,
Sure.
and I am entitled to
But
that.
so here's, I 100% agree with that. But
Okay.
now, doing something that's legally enforceable onto the town, since we are elected officials and we can violate free speech and we can discriminate, we should not open ourselves up to that. So, I'll say it one more time. I'd rather have no public comment policy than an illegal one. The no public comment policy can open us up to other issues, so.
So basically, what you're saying is, if I'm to serve on this board, I should be willing to be abused.
It's not what I'm saying.
No, if you're saying
I'm
that
not
this
saying
is
that.
what this public comment policy is gonna be, then I won't serve, because I will then be risking myself in a threatening position. I'm trying to volunteer and serve my community, and you are putting every stumbling block in my path to make me feel comfortable doing it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, what
I'm
you're
not
saying to
putting-
me,
Okay.
yep,
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Putting any stumbling blocks
Okay.
in.
So
That's-
I think
you
the
are.
consensus, and you, Ed, I think I need your opinion too. The consensus is that we forego meeting rules at this point, and if, again, we all recognize the fact that we're going to open it up for discussion for whoever is on the floor. And if it becomes issues, then we definitely need to go back and think about instituting the policy.
Fine.
In the meantime, I'm still gonna follow up
Yeah,
with
please.
Sarah and try to get the information that she got that I forgot to ask her for today.
Sure, I would, encourage you guys to take a look at this, because,
Yep.
you know, there's the conversation I had that I characterized, but all the rest of this stuff comes from the NHMA documents that they give the presentation to hundreds of people a year, so anyway, it's not Brian here, it's
Yeah.
interpreting our lawyers' advice, so.
Yep.
Okay. So, hold on, I need to get this right for the minutes. Public comment policy, we will forego having a formal one and just allow people to speak at the end, and if it's an issue, we'll,
We'll address it at that
yes.
point.
Alright, give me,
Hasn't
20
been for
seconds here.
36 years, so I hope the next 36 it won't be either.
so I guess do we need a motion to not have something? I've always been weirded out by having motions to not do something. I don't think we need to have a
I
motion
don't,
to
we
not
don't
do
need
something.
to have,
Okay.
no, because we didn't,
To not have a formal public comment policy. We will have an informal one at the end. I think we probably should motion to do something. We will have an informal public comment policy at the end of the meeting.
Sure.
And if it becomes an issue, we will
Address it at that time.
address. Ryan motions to have a public comment policy at the end of the meeting.
no, not a public comment policy, just public
Public
comment.
comment, sorry. At the end of the meeting, if it becomes an issue, we will revisit. Everybody like those words?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Would anybody like to second that?
Anybody want a second? I prefer not to as
I'll
chairman.
second it.
Okay, Jenny seconds. Does the motion carry by all?
Yes.
Yeah, motion carries by all. Okay, cool.
So on the agenda, I forgot to put in reviewing the minutes. That's a big thing, especially with all this. So, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? I just had a couple of questions more
Sure.
than anything else. I didn't like your language. Bonnie did not want to run the meetings where the board could get pertinent information. I
Okay,
don't.
hold on, give me a second. Can you tell me where you're at?
You're on page 2,
Yeah?
under the first
Oh,
bullet,
I
it says
see.
most of the board seemed to disagree, and then the second bullet said
Wait,
Bonnie did
second
not
bullet?
want to run the meetings where the board could get pertinent information if it were not on the agenda because it takes long to get off track. I don't think that that's appropriate.
Okay, what would you like it to say?
The third bullet's fine. She would like to.
So you say
do this
delete
at the
that
end.
second bullet?
Yeah, it sounds like I
So-
wasn't open to listening to anybody.
Okay, I thought I heard you say you didn't wanna run it that way because it would get us off track, but okay, I can delete it.
And the
Anybody
other,
opposed to that? Everybody is good with it? Yes.
the other one, the bullet on the third page for, under the CIP recap, I guess, I didn't, the fire department is asking for several millions of dollars in the next several years. What are you talking about, several millions? I guess I should
So you
have
wanna
asked
talk
more
about it in
questions that
detail?
night. Yeah,
Okay.
only because I didn't remember us really talking about millions of dollars.
Well,
It
you
would've-
haven't been on the you haven't gone to the CIP.
No.
Right, but that's why
I-
you're bringing that
You said
in.
you talked about it that night.
Right.
I don't remember you talking about that. I mean, that would have brought the hair up on my arms.
Okay,
And maybe,
thought I said it, but okay, let's go through it.
I mean, you definitely talked about the road
I'm-
age and highway equipment and stuff. I personally don't remember you saying anything about millions of dollars for the fire department.
Okay? I might have, okay, give me a second.
Sure, no problem. If it is, I mean, I'm happy to hear what they want their millions of dollars for.
Yeah, I may have gotten confused with the highway department, but let's look, I've got lots of paper from them. Yeah, it kind of shocked me too.
Hmm.
I think this is the newest
I mean, they
one.
don't even have enough fire volunteers to run what equipment they have, much less ask for millions more.
Okay, so, do you want me to come over there and we all huddle around, or do you want me to
No,
just
just
verbally?
you tell us.
Okay, so, and I may get the engine 2 rescue one, I may get that a little screwed up because Alan was going back and forth and seemed to change all the time. So it's replace, I have crossed out engine 2 and then 1 and then erase that. Anyway, it's a 3,000 gallon, 1,500 gallon per minute pump for 700,000, maybe 900,000. It's kind of the price range I was given, that's 2030. Rescue 1,
The year
the
2030.
year 2030.
Okay,
So I'm gonna give
okay.
you the thing, the money, the time.
Okay,
Rescue 1, so not replace engine 1, but Rescue 1 is 2031, 200K plus.
is that the thing they got from Canaan, the rescue one?
That was the wildland, the
Oh,
wildland.
forest fire.
No,
Oh, no, sorry, that was the state,
Yeah, that was state.
which came from Caltrans and Cal.
Right.
I don't know. Do you know, can you answer that question?
State,
Rescue one, where did that come from originally?
that's the forest, vehicle,
That is the forest vehicle, rescue one?
yeah.
And where did we get that from?
From the state.
The state came in at the time, what I remember is, what's the name of the department said he wanted to bring it, Leaf told him no, he got it anyway.
Right.
That was my recollection of that.
Is that Rescue
And they
1?
got it for free from the state,
Right,
that was my
yeah.
understanding.
So remember, it was Canaan that gave us a forest fire truck at one point?
Right, I
Do we
think that's
still have that?
history.
Oh, that's history, okay. I haven't paid attention to
Yeah.
that. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, so that's not Rescue 1, at least the way it's being tracked right now, and I can go back to the CIP and ask, because it made it onto the next subsequent meeting, which was whatever, 2 weeks ago, and it says Rescue 1, 2031, 200,000 plus, so it's still on there.
Okay,
So if we're keeping a running tally, I got about $1 million so far, and I've just gotten 2 lines. Engine / pumper, I crossed out and it says engine 2, leased by grant, 2026, 700K Wentworth.
two, but we already talked about replacing two in 2030.
So, like I said, engine 1, engine 2, there was a lot of going back and forth. So
Okay.
the first one could have been engine 1, the second one engine 2, or the first one engine 2, and the second one. Anyway, there's engine 1 and 2, they're both on here. 2028. $2026 is what I have written in. The most recent one, there's no date, but it was 700K roughly. It's back to 500 to 900K. Then there's tanker 1, that's a 3,000 gallon thing. 2028 for, he was talking 700K for that one. On the most recent one, it's blank again. Then there's a forestry truck, 2030, 300 to 500K. Then there's a car 1, which is a pickup. These are my notes now. Pickup, double cab, 1-ton, 4-wheel drive, 2028 for 80K. Then there's a cascade system. There's a question mark for the date. That's 70K. I don't know what the cascade system is. There's a mobile cascade for 15K, no date. Electric generator, 2026, that's for emergency management for 30K. There are 4 MSA Scubas, I guess that's like the air thing they wear. ASAP, but then it says 2031 for 48K. Do you want me to keep going? There's, we're about halfway done. So that's a
No, you're
couple
giving
few
a
million
pretty,
there.
yeah, you're painting a pretty fine picture. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like, so, here's my take on it, my personal take, but I'm sitting there listening to these meetings, and it's a lot of people just come with the wish list, right? There's, the CIP, I don't think has discretion to say, no, you don't need that, like, we don't even really have discretion to do that, right? We just recommend it for the voters.
Exactly.
But, so they're coming with a whole big wish list, right? So I think what the CIP intends to do is take what everybody wants, like big tent, if they're people who should have a desire for it, right? Not just anybody who walks off the street, put it on here, and then it gets talked about for a little bit, then it gets taken to the next level, which I think is, you know, they vote on it, then they give it to the, select board, and now the select board has a roadmap for where to go long-term. And of course, we'll be informed in that on a year-to-year basis. I don't think we have really anything to say about 3 years from now. But yeah, I was quite shocked, and I've been,
So, a quick question, the several million
yeah.
is over the next several years, so,
Yeah.
okay, it's over the next several years.
So I have, everything I've talked about so far was 2031, and there, the CIP's mandate is only to do 6 years in the future, so I think 2031. I don't have anything in here written beyond that, except for maybe a 2041 for 25K, but yeah, so the next 6 years.
Okay, so, and Ed, they're gonna come before you with their wish list, correct? Right, and then you're gonna say, what's your need list look like? Okay.
Yeah, so there's a date needed, a lead time. There's, I think at some point, I think the CIP was gonna try to do like a priority, you know, their best guess at priorities, I think. But anyway, that's not on the list yet. I think that's what they're gonna do before they.
And the CIP is, who are they advising?
I guess the
You?
select board.
They're gonna advise you?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Well, I the budget, so.
Well-
I think you're right though, Ryan. I think these are big wish lists.
Yes.
And when I was approached as town clerk and tax collector, it was like, you know, forecast what you really need over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next, I think they asked me for 5 years. Nothing says that I would get what I asked
Sure,
for,
sure,
it's
yeah.
just they want a projection of what's there. But it's good that these people are doing their work, that Alan has put all that time and effort into figuring it out. But my only concern in backing any of this is that, again, we don't have enough volunteers to run the trucks we have, much less to